Our Prime Minister Keir Starmer said, "Is Britain going to be an island of strangers?"
I'm doing this because it is right, because it is fair, and because it is what I believe in. Nations depend on rules, fair rules. Sometimes they're written down, often they're not. But either way, they give shape to our values, guide us towards our rights, of course, but also our responsibilities, the obligations we owe to each other.
Why our Prime Minister said Britain is risking an island of strangers? Because so many people coming into this country, but they are not integrating to the culture, to the people, to the values. That is what. The island is full of strangers, but they are not integrating with other people. Are you a stranger in this country or a friend of our native people? How long you are here in this country? Are you still a stranger? You should be a friend. You should become everybody's friend because you are living in this great country. They host you, they give you everything. So what you need to do is you to become a friend of everybody. Never be a stranger. This is why our Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer stated in his last speech when he was unveiling the migration policies. Britain is becoming an island of strangers. How can be the strangers in Britain? Can be friends to everyone. Strangers versus friends. Following the rules of the host countries is very important. When we come into this country, we follow this country's rules and regulations. Law-abiding citizens. It is always important we all abide the law of the hosting country, which is at the moment UK. We come into this country, maybe study, to live or work, whatever it is very important we have to abide the law of this country. Otherwise, we cannot survive in this country. You cannot bring your own rules. You cannot bring your own laws because the law of this country is different. So we have to abide the law of this country. The care homes in the UK has a vital role in integrating migrant staff into the UK British culture and values, because lots and lots of migrant staff working in the care homes, they have no idea. I mean most of them have no idea about real British culture and values. Who is the patron of England? St. George. Who is the patron of Wales? St. David. And something like patrons of Northern Ireland and Scotland. It is very important to learn these kind of things. We celebrate these days VE Day, Victory in Europe Day.
On the 8th of May 1945, huge crowds took to the streets to hear the news they'd long hoped for made official.
Advance Britannia! Long live the cause of freedom! God save the King!
VE Day marks the moment Allied forces accepted the German military surrender, effectively ending the war in Europe.
How many of migrant staff know what is VE Day? What are the royal celebrations? And St. George Day. What is the importance of St. George flag in this country? And what is the importance of UK flag, United Kingdom, British flag? Things like that. This is very important. Giving them some idea and respecting them. Here are some suggestions to the government, to the local authorities or to the employers who is actually employing the migrants. How do you actually teach them the British values? What they know about this? So it is very important teaching the migrants what are the values and what are the cultural things in this country. So we would like to suggest something like an orientation course to the migrant staff Especially in our Mundy House, we started a migration course for orientation course for all migrant staff, which they understand. Some of the things, in example, British food, fish and chips, ham and chips, or shepherd's pie. It is important to learn British culture, British values and traditions. But when and how? At the moment, the government is asking the people who are legally migrants here, before they getting their ILR, indefinite leave to remain, currently 5 years, it is going to extend in the white papers 10 years. So before you apply to ILR, normally 5 years, you have to pass life in the UK test. So this is the point. Are you asking them to learn about UK life when you get there 5 years or 10 years? Why can't they learn this when they come here, the first year, the initial years? Give them a couple of years to make them to learn about British culture, then do a test about the British culture, life in the UK, and then teach them. How many of them know what are the celebrations in here? What are the festivals here? Nobody knows. They only know when it comes to their ILR, they have to pass this test. The migrants who coming into this country need to understand Britain has lots of traditional values and they have cultural things here. We need to understand that. We need to involve in that. We need to learn, we need to study what is it actually British culture. And we can be a stranger in this country because you living your life in here, your family here, your children here, maybe you bring your parents here. You have all rights here, the best human rights in this country. Then we have to respect our country's culture, values, and we respect other people. Do you know who is your neighbor? That is very important. Do you say hi to them? Do you say good morning to them? Especially people who come into this country legally, they need to involve, they need to integrate to the society. Before they come into this country, I think the government should teach them the values, morals, ethics, and some of the cultural things here. There are lots of things we need to learn before we come to this country. Even if you are in this country, you can still learn. Integration is an important part of everyone coming into this country. There are thousands and thousands of people coming from various parts of the country. Multiculturalism, diversity, inclusion, we talk about all these things. But how? Who's supposed to integrate into this country's culture and values? It is us. So we need to integrate to this country's culture and values. But how do you find it? What are the cultures? What are the celebrations? What is our country, our UK, our Britain likes? We need to find out that. Someone has to teach the people who coming in this country. Before even they come to this country, they need to know what is the cultural values and traditions. People who coming from abroad as migrants, they celebrate their own religious celebrations, social celebrations, etc. But it has to have a limitation for it. It should not bother, annoy the native people because that is not in their culture. Liberal migration is not going to be anymore. Nobody can come here or in any countries as you wish like before. It is not like that because they are all learning a lesson. What is happening in America, what is happening in Australia or Canada? Yes, maybe they have had enough because they are thinking people who coming into this country not integrating, not properly migrating, not following, not respecting, not valuing. So that is probably the perception. We need to show, we need to tell the world, yes, we can migrate, we can integrate, we can be friendly with you, we are no more strangers. One of the important thing we noticed is the migrant staff or migrant people coming into this country, they always hold dual culture. One is their own culture, they bring into this country and they have to keep up the culture of this country as well. It is not hard because you already know how to integrate, how to mingle with the people. Come out of your home. We always work, sleep, eat that pattern. Coming out of your house and going into a local park, going into a local football stadium, or going into somewhere where people gather, going to a sports center, go and have some badminton or football, cricket, swimming, lots of facilities here. You can go and join them. You will find new people and then learn about them, mingle with them and talk to them, make friends with them. That is how you integrate. Come out of your own little den. You come out to the public place, a nice park. Integrating to the British community is not a rocket science. It is very simple because they are all same humans like us. It is how to break the ice. Every stranger carrying a story. So we should listen the strangers as well, isn't it? We will not make Britain as an island of strangers. We will make it as friends, helpful people and a community. We love Britain because Britain gives us a life.